talk about how you kind of get into the habit of charging? Because I know for a lot of students who are trying to get into the business, it's hard for us to, like, myself included, ask people for money.
By asking. By getting to the point in your own skill where you are either confident enough in your abilities and or starving enough that you don't have a lot of choice in the matter, and it's that or Wendy's. And I think that, or maybe it's that and Wendy's, but the point is that you still want to transition from less Wendy's. You need to just figure out what it is that you can command. Not every client is going to say okay to whatever you ask for, and you can't necessarily draw inference from each rejection, right? So the fact that you ask a client for $1,000 to do whatever and they say no doesn't actually necessarily reflect your value or whether that $1,000 was reasonable or not. It may have far more to do with the fact that they don't know what they're getting for their money, and or they simply don't have $1,000. I mean, I have this happen all the time. The client comes in and they want to do a project, and they say that they appreciate everything that I have to offer them, and it sounds like it'd be a fun project, which gets to the point of I don't take every project just because it walks in the door. And then you just say, look, I'm going to cut you a good deal because I like what you're doing, and here's the good deal. And it may be a very good deal, at least compared to sort of your standard rate, which whatever that is. But if it's more money than they have, or more money, for a lot of artists, there is a number that is much lower than for bankers, at which the number is unfathomable to them. And so they may very well want to work with you, but not only can't, but can't even conceive of it. Right? That does not necessarily mean that you're asking for an unreasonable amount of money based on what you're going to do and who you are and what you've achieved up to date. How do you come up with that number? I think you gotta look around at what other people are asking. But that being said, also I think that there is a certain mindset which may be more prevalent amongst musicians, that they're starving and therefore they deserve your services for free. And if you fall into reinforcing that by providing your services for free or next to free, that's the reputation you get, and that's lethal. Say that you're willing to be flexible for the right project so that people don't feel like you're all about the money or that you're inflexible, but set a rate. But part of it also is that almost every project takes twice as long as I expect it to. And since I tend to work with people by giving them an estimate, which really means a project rate, then, if I'm charging them $15,000 or whatever, the likelihood is I've probably done $30,000 worth of work. At some point, you're making enough money that you're happy with it, and you get their project done so they're happy with it, and you stop worrying about the hours. That's why you do a project rate. It's because then you can put your heart and soul into doing it right. You've got a certain amount of money coming in, they know what the cost is going to be, and then the end product becomes what's important.
It'll set you free.